55 KRC On Demand.
This is At Home with Gary Sullivan. Listen to Gary Saturday and Sundays at 9 a.m. on 55 KRC, the talk station.
This podcast is brought to you by One Time Wood, my favorite deck sealer. It lasts 7 years. It's great for decks and log homes. Visit onetimewood.com to find out where you can get One Time, the leader in wood protection, or head to any do-it-best hardware store, onetimewood.com. Well, it's the weekend. Welcome At Home with Gary Sullivan. Thanks for joining me as we got a lot to cover today. Our phone number is 1-800-823-TALK. And, of course, we're talking about our homes as we do each and every weekend. Feel free to dial us up. Again, it's 1-800-823-TALK. As we do in this hour, or we're trying to do at least in this hour, over each and every Saturday, is have an expert in our chat room. You can get to our chat room by going to GarySullivanOnline.com. And our expert today is Ron Kruger. He is A-plus wildlife owner and operator. And Ron, welcome.
Hi, Gary. It's good to be back with you.
So I got a couple of questions, and I want to let everybody know, of course, that you're going to be in the chat room. You'll be answering questions regarding all kinds of things, especially critters that are kind of taking up residence in our homes. Is this a time of year a lot of critters look to take up residence because the cold weather's coming? Are they taking up residence because it's so hot outside? Where are we on the scheme of things?
They're taking up, we'll speak of bats separately, but raccoons and skunks and stuff like that, they'll start taking up residence again this fall, and it's an awesome time to really, time of year to look around your house, to inspect your house for potential openings, to seal them ahead of time, decks and sheds. We're mostly past the birthing season for most of our wildlife, especially here in Ohio. Mm-hmm. And so it's a good time to do exclusion work where we're basically protecting our homes and our investments of our property against wildlife damage. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, there's still squirrels. We've had, I guess the only one that's not past birthing yet are just squirrels have had their second set of young up here, and they'll be residing in attics as we speak right now.
Now, you said inspect your home for openings. Is there particular areas around your home that you should pay close attention to?
Well, starting at the ground and working up, for decks and sheds, you're always looking for areas, what I like to call where animals have dug under or bellied under. So there'll be small depressions about the size of a softball where animals have come and gone. You just look for evidence. You kind of have to be like a wildlife detective out there and kind of look for things. On your house, under the soffit, where a soffit meets a roof line, right? Like on dormers, that last soffit panel, right where it touches the roof, is so flexible that squirrels and raccoons and bats, raccoons just push those soffits up or tear them down. So look for damage to the house. The louvered ends of the gable end vents, those louvered vents, are very typical of raccoons entering, and check those out. And then if you see any type of activity, that's when I would strongly suggest hiring or contacting a wildlife control professional.
Sure, absolutely. You know, I got another question. I read this article about raccoons invading Chicago. And one of the things it talked up, and I thought, wow, that's probably true. With the many houses that are in foreclosure, a lot of abandoned homes become havens, I guess, for wildlife.
They sure do, and I've noticed that in some of the areas where any rundown home, any home that's not maintained will eventually die or decay. Mm-hmm. It's just a general practice, and wildlife are opportunistic, and they're going to take advantage of a house that there is no maintenance being done on it. If they can find a secluded area that nobody's watching and nobody's going to bother them, boy, that's just prime for them. And we've just created a perfect habitat for wildlife that basically adapts very well to our neighborhoods.
Yeah, exactly. Now, one of the first callers I had when I spoke that Ron Kruger was going to be in our chat room, she wanted to know about bats. She had a bat problem, and I know you've got a lot of training when it comes to bats. And I did say that, you know, there are some projects that are just left more to the experts. Bats probably being one of them. Do you agree?
I wholeheartedly agree. Bats are very difficult to remove sometimes, and you also got a lot of wildlife health issues or health issues that come along with bats that you just need to know about. Basically, if somebody suspects they have bats or know they have bats, it's a 3-phase process to get bats out. Phase 1 is inspection of the house to determine entry points. It could be vents, under gable end louver vents, under soffits, all those. There's many locations that they could utilize. They all need a third or half-inch gap to sneak in. They crawl into a home and then live in the rafters. Second, that the structure should be sealed. Every place that the bat's not using, because when you finally do the exclusion part where you allow the bats to leave, it's like a one-way valve or a one-way door system. We allow the bats to leave and not get back in. They're going to look around the house to get back into the house that they know and love. And so that's why you seal the entire structure. And that's what a lot of time is missed, and bats re-enter from a second or third location. And then basically once the material is removed, the exclusion material, the one-way valve, we do the final seal. And after that, the phase 2 would be any clean-out that needs to be done with the guano or bat droppings. And then the third phase would be any parasitic treatments, because bats can carry a bug with them that's called a bat bug, which is a kissing cousin to the bed bug.
Oh, joy. We've heard enough about them.
And they're almost indistinguishable to the naked eye, and you have to use a microscope to tell them apart. But,
wow.
So bats are very interesting, and we do a lot of work at this time of year, because right now the little bats, the baby bats, have now become flight capable, and we can start doing exclusion work now. We usually black out from about May to August, and now we're in the basically, I'll be doing bat exclusions all afternoon and most of the day tomorrow.
All right. In the meantime, you're going to be in our chat room, right?
We're ready to type. My fingers are nimble.
All right. You got questions already posted for you, Ron, so thank you very much. I'll let you get back to the chat room.
Thanks, Gary. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, Ron. That's Ron Kruger. He is with A-Plus Wildlife Control in the Cleveland area, and he is our guest in our chat room. If you would like to post a question regarding critters that have entered your home, or if you have a bat problem, just go to GarySullivanOnline.com. You can click the big red button that says Chat Now and post your question. All right, 1-800-823-TALK, and we'll be talking about your home.